Hello, this is our senior project video. My name is Jacob Clary, and I'll be talking about our senior project. Our team is made up of 2 mechanical engineers, Hibiki Yoshida and Ted Levere, 1 product design and manufacturing engineer, Ethan Duffy, 1 computer engineer, Chris Lamis, and then 2 electrical engineers, myself and Caleb Veenstra. Our project is a hardware sorter / vendor for the GVSU freshman lab. It is designed to be a sorting system where you can place a handful of parts into the system, after which they will be sorted into appropriate dispensing bins. For example, if someone were to place M3 by 50 millimeter bolts and M4 by 20 millimeter bolts, the 50 millimeter bolts would be sorted into their bins, and the M4 bolts would be sorted to a quote trash bin, as they're not in the hardware selection for this vending machine. The reason for this project is to help clean up the lab and also prevent students from taking more hardware than they need and not returning the excess. So right now you're looking at a picture of our full system. It's not fully assembled as we're still in implementation phase. One of the main obstacles that led to us not being quite in a finished state at this point is deciding between a mechanical sorting system and a AI vision sorting system. The reason that it was a difficult obstacle there is that we've had no one on our team has experience designing a custom AI vision system, and we were hesitant to do so as the previous group who worked on this project also did a vision-based system, and it didn't succeed or turn out as well as they had hoped. It was, as in, they were fairly inaccurate on determining what part was in view of the camera. So we attempted a few mechanical sorting prototypes. A few had success, but we ran into more road bumps with those, so we switched over to a vision system with around 4 weeks before the project is due. So that kind of explains the unfinished look to our machine, as we're still in that final implementation phase now. So this is just the overview of the system. You have intake here. And you have your conveyors going into our vision cell, which is blocked off to reduce light from outside sources. We only want the light coming from our light source that we designed for it. We have our camera here that points onto this conveyor here. This is our sorting ramp, which we'll get into as the video progresses. These are each of our dispensing bins for the hardware we stock. Conveyor belt to dispense the parts out here, which is where the user will grab their parts. And then the electrical panel or cabinet over here that houses all our electronics that control this device. So we'll skip ahead in the video. This is the electromagnet. So in this intake here, we have an electromagnet with a metal plate on top. The idea is to sort out non-ferrous trash, so anything not magnetic gets sorted to trash immediately to not clog up our system. And that was just a close look at what the electromagnets look like under there. So we'll continue the video. So here you're seeing the conveyor system. We use a singulator here that adds the parts onto the conveyor, and they slide into the vision cell. And this is a test demo of the vision cell running with our model on it. At some point you'll see an Allen key come in, and just before this it thinks it's a few different parts, which is something we're fixing. But since it thinks it's so many different parts, we'd probably trash that part regardless. But as the parts approach the end of the conveyor into our light source, the vision system determines what part it is with pretty high accuracy. So now we're showing that sorting ramp over here. This is all the funnels with U channels that pipe into each of the dispensing bins for each part. And we've got a stepper motor controlling that. This is a keyboard attached to our Raspberry Pi, which is running the graphical user interface for the project. And I just alt-tabbed to show you guys this. So what you see here is what the user interface looks like. I think I go through a few menus here that's me touching the screen saying it will be a touch screen. Touchscreen is not connected right now while we were testing out parts of the process. So we have admin password right now testing, not going to be that later. You can see you can edit all the part stock, you can view the available stock, and that is what our user interface will look like. This is a single photo of the sorting ramp. The idea is the stepper motor will point to each funnel depending on what the camera sees and sort the part individually into those funnels. So here is that sorting ramp running. This is us testing the homing feature. It flies over here and then goes back to the homing switch, which is done using a reed switch and a magnet. The idea is when the magnet reaches that switch, it closes and we can tell where the stepper motor is located or pointing at. Skip further ahead. So after this video, we show the full dispensing sequence. So right now Caleb's over there on the side and he just scanned his key card that he uses to access all the engineering buildings. And he's requesting 2 M3x50 bolts. So it receives that request. It starts turning our bins and dispensing those parts. And they feed out of these funnels at the back. They have a sensor that counts how many parts exit. That's another issue that we have with that IR sensor is that occasionally 2 parts will come out and it will only see it as 1. So that's one roadblock we're still trying to figure out. So you saw that it completed its dispense. So there's 2 parts. I believe there's a 3rd coming, but it doesn't catch it on the video. This is the M3 washer bin up close. The idea is to have this rotating basin kinda, and that houses all the parts. There's a little hole at the top that allows the parts to exit. And then if we keep going, this is the part without that front dish on. It's seated on top of a few ball bearings, and the motor sits there in the center. And then these are our out feeds. These are the funnels that are placed on the back of every bin. This section here is the IR sensor. It counts how many parts exit. And if we continue, this is our HMI. It's got a nice swivel mount with an arm here. And our product design manufacturing engineers spent some time on this and it turned out really nice. So we wanted to include that. But yeah, I think some of the highlights of our project are the AI vision system being greatly improved from the previous project. And the dispensing bins are also from the previous group, but we've tuned them to work more reliably and be consistent in the amount of parts they dispense. And that is our project.